Hi guys, Chris and PJ here live in the Dream Giveaway Garage.
Happy Wednesday, sir.
Oh, another beautiful day in Florida. I'm gonna rub it in. It's beautiful here.
1 week till Christmas, sir.
1 week till Christmas. We missed you guys when we were up in Indy. We're glad that, we miss the garage too. We're glad that you're joining us here today in our favorite place on earth.
That's right.
And we're going to call today Rockin' Red Wednesday. So we're going to talk about any of the red cars, maybe all of the red cars that we have here in the Dream Giveaway Garage. And how can I not start but with this, with the Ford GT.
It's quite the amazing car, Chris.
Quite the amazing car. We were joking about it earlier. You add an O and you got a Pontiac, right? We had one of our longtime friends over here today, and he was just so amazed at this car. And everybody who's seeing it has fallen in love with it. And let's face it, guys, not many of us could have gone to a Ford dealership back in 05 or 06 and cut a check for one of these babies. And those guys who did so back then are probably happy that they did, because the values have been skyrocketing so much so that these are now going for over $400,000. And who knows? In a few years, these could be $500,000 or more.
And what was it? How much was it for sale when it first came out?
About $155,000.
Well, it's still quite a bit of money there.
Well, it's still a lot of money. In fact, on another day, we'll show you the window sticker on it. But think of the taxes on it. We're paying $117,000 just in the taxes on behalf of the winner.
Wow. Larry says the only car that could sway me away from a Mopar.
Yeah, you know, I hear you. And we were talking about this car before we brought it in for you guys to win. And we agreed with that. That whether you're a Dodge fan, Dodge Plymouth, whether you're a GM fan, Pontiac, Chevy, Olds, Buick. And of course, if you're a Ford fan, this car kind of overrides brand loyalty. Doesn't matter if you're, hey, I'm a Chevy guy, right? You want to kick this one out of your garage. I think everybody out there would say it. This car does everything well. And they only made about 2,000 of them in 2005, another 2,000 in 2006, about 4,000 of them out there. I don't know how many are left. I'm guessing most were bought as collector vehicles and have super low miles and were not professionally raced. And remember, this is a street legal car, so you've got niceties such as air conditioning, power windows, a Macintosh sound system. One day we're going to crank some tunes on the Mac system there. I don't mean Apple Mac. I mean Macintosh out of New York State. You know, high-end audio.
Roger says it's minus 32 in Nebraska based on the Christ scale.
Oh, we need to send you some chicken soup, Roger, so that you stay healthy during these super frigid times.
That's right. What other red cars are we looking at today, Chris?
What are we going to look at? I'm going to call these red, right? Radiant red tint coat. 2 matching Cadillacs. That's not a wrap.
And they're not black.
And they're not black underneath. They are radiant red tint coat from the factory. And what a great pair here. This is probably our second most valuable prize package in the Dream Giveaway Garage today.
Well, if it wasn't for that GT over there, this would have been the...
of course. Blackwing, Escalade, 600 plus horsepower each, both 20th anniversary editions. I know you need a magnifying glass to see that 20th anniversary decal.
And the Blackwing decal.
And the black, that's from us. You can read that one at least. And Cadillac has finally started putting the word Blackwing under the V. Maybe somebody up there was listening.
Yeah, and we've got some more decals here on the side that we put on for Blackwing.
Absolutely. Great pair of cars. And so now you guys ask, which one would I take and which one would PJ take if we were allowed to enter? Of the Cadillacs.
Oh, okay.
Of the Cadillacs. I'd take the black one.
I would take the Escalade.
You would take the Escalade?
Yeah, all day long.
All right. Well, there you go. And the Ford GT, of course, we'd probably have to both take the GT. What a great car. What else do we have red around
Red.
here?
We've got the dually, the red dually.
We got the
truck.
dually,
Yep.
that Ram 3500. That one stickers for over $100,000. Can you believe a new Ram truck costs that much? By the way, I spoke to somebody yesterday who has some inside information on what's happening at Dodge. And the gentleman, Tim Kaniskis, who was heading up Dodge and the Hellcat program, retired. He was sick of what the foreign ownership of Dodge was doing to the brand. So he retired. Then they asked him to come back and be the CEO of Ram. He said, only if I can do it my way. You're not going to tell me I got to put an electric engine in this or a 6-cylinder in that. If I'm going to be the CEO, it's got to be my way. And so the CEO of the parent company of Dodge and Fiat, called FCA, out of France, he stepped down, and Tim accepted the job as the CEO of Ram. So what I'm hearing is that we're going to expect some really cool Ram performance coming up in the future. Hemis are not going away from what I'm hearing. Go ahead, PJ.
Calvin on YouTube says, is that the V? Yes, it is.
That is a V. It's a V Blackwing. And speaking of Dodge, I hear that someone who worked closely with Tim will be taking over for the Dodge performance side. And once that happens, perhaps we'll start seeing some Hemi-powered Dodge muscle cars. Again, keep those fingers crossed.
Is that like the last call stuff that's going on
Right, well,
now?
remember, last call was 2023. Dodge did not produce any Challengers or Chargers for the 2024 model year. And now the 2025 model year is here, right?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Dwayne says, those red tint coat devils, I would love to win those, make up for the loss of the black Thunderbolt caddies.
Ah, indeed. Great pair of caddies. Let's walk over to Classic Car Row, see where we got red over
we've got
there.
A couple of red ones over there, right?
Got some
Chris?
red ones here, too.
We've got a GTO 65.
65, correct.
Convertible.
So
Were they all convertibles back then?
No. No, you could get a coupe, you could get a hardtop, or you could get a convertible. There are 3 body styles. You're like, what's a coupe versus a hardtop? So the coupe did not have a pillar right here. Imagine this as a hardtop, no pillar. The hardtop had a post right here. And the post cars were actually a little preferred for drag racing because they didn't twist as much. So 3 body styles available on the GTO back in the day. This one, Montero red interior, 4-speed, tri-power. Gotta tell you, this is what started the muscle car era. Way back in 1964. And there were big engines before the GTO. I think of the Galaxy 500, the R-Code Galaxy 500s that were racing NASCAR back in 62, 63. There were big engine things out there, the big Chevy 409s, and then later the 427s. But those were all in full-size vehicles. And this car, although it looks like a full-size vehicle.
Say, wait a minute.
Yeah, this was considered a mid-size car. A mid-size convertible back in the day.
Well, Roger called it Montero Red GTO right before you had said it.
Yeah, so, Montero Red. And then over next to it, of course,
1970.
By 1970, GM finally allowed over 400 cubic inches in its vehicle. So, of course, the Corvette, Chevy's halo car, for the first year, got the 454. And you know what? I'm incorrect on that. The Corvette had 427s going all the way back to the mid-60s. I'm thinking the A-bodies. The A-bodies were not allowed to get 400 cubic inches or more.
I'm looking at an AC unit here, Chris.
Yeah. 454, big block, LS5, 4-speed. Really nice car. Someone asked about the factory alarm system on here. And I've got to, and how it works. And I'm going to have to figure that out because I haven't had a chance to see if it still works or not. But
T-tops.
the window sticker says it. Yep, T-tops. That glass comes down. What a cool car. What a cool car indeed. So I think that's it for the red cars that we have here.
Chris, what is your favorite version of Corvette? Which generation?
I really like the C3. And I've got to tell you, I even like although I don't like the engines, when you start getting, 82 or 83, they're a stylish looking car, but the problem is that there was no horsepower left, right? They were 160 horsepower or whatever they were. So an early C3 in 1970 is kind of the best of both worlds. And late 70s Corvettes you can pick up inexpensive. They're not as desirable at these big collector car auctions.
Are the C4s and the C5s collectorable, I guess? Are they sought after at all? Or?
And you know what? I spoke to people who were around when the C4 was developed, and they really were trying to bring the Corvette into a modern age. The problem with the C4 is that electronics in the 1980s were really, really poor. And so the C4, except maybe for the very, very last of them, like maybe some of the pace cars in 96 or some limited editions, they're not very collectible. The C5, however, starts the collectability of the Corvette again with the LS1 engine, and power started returning to the Corvette lineup. And then all the way C6, we don't have a C6 to show you, C7 there next to the 70, and then the E-Ray, of course, a C8.
Kathy says it was Jeff H. that was asking about the alarm system, but Roger says figure out how to shut off the alarm before you set it on.
Good advice, Roger.
We had one going off there not too long ago.
Man, that was crazy that day.
Larry says, is that a Hot Wheels track behind you?
Great question. No. So around Christmas time, all of us at Dream Giveaway, working hard all year, get together and we have a little bit of fun. So this is a Pinewood Derby track. And on Friday, the Dream Giveaway team will be getting together, and we're all making Pinewood Derby cars. And we're going to see who has the quickest one. So a little bit of in-house fun here for our staff as part of the holiday season.
Yeah, we all had to take a block of wood and convert it into our own.
Yes, and that's yellow. The Hot Wheel tracks, yes, I grew up in the 70s, were orange. And I think I call them the tongues, the things that put the two Hot Wheel tracks together, weren't they purple? I think so. Anyways, so much fun here in the Dream Giveaway.
Jesus wants to know, happy Wednesday. He says, if you could pick a red vehicle, what would you pick?
Oh, the GT.
Yeah, the GT is kind of...
Everybody here would pick the GT.
It's a pretty wild car.
Absolutely.
Larry says, takes me back to the Scout days.
That's funny you should say that, because I think there was a Scoutmaster here setting this up earlier.
Yeah.
So the Scoutmasters must keep these tracks for the local troops, and I think we rented it or borrowed it or whatever.
It'll be a fun day. That's right.
Good. And I'm glad I don't have to go camping.
Maybe you'll get a badge for this.
Maybe I'll get a badge for this. That's right. All right, guys. We'll wrap it up for today. We'll see you tomorrow with more great fun, more great action, more great grand prizes. And please don't bet on me winning that Pinewood Derby. We'll see you tomorrow in our favorite place on earth, the Dream Giveaway Garage.
See you next time, everyone.